Jolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another episode of our little A to Z officer series. But before I talk about the next rare officer today, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel and also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But now let's have a look at Miles O'Brien. That's an officer I really regularly use, and in this video you will see why. But first of all, he's from class engineering. That means he needs engineering badges when you upgrade him. He's from the group Deep Space Nine, which means he can give synergy to a captain of that group if he's on the bridge with him. And he's from the faction Federation. That means you need Federation faction credits to upgrade him. If you haven't seen Deep Space Nine, what I think most people have seen, there is quite an explanation text about this character here in the info box. You know that there's always a text about the officer in this info box. As you could already hear from what I said earlier, he does not have a captain maneuver, but he does have an officer ability and a below deck ability, and those I use both regularly. The first one is the Luck of the Irish, which is his officer ability if you put him on the bridge. And that means for 3 rounds, Miles O'Brien has a 50% chance of increasing shots against an armada by 100%. And that is something I regularly use in one of my armada teams. Since we have the Voyager crew, the Cisco crew is not the best armada crew anymore, but still one of the best. And with Cisco, Miles O'Brien and B'Elanna Torres on the bridge, for example, you have a really good armada crew, and Miles' ability here is what I really use against armadas, especially if we do formation armadas where I need more than one ship in at the same time, or in solo armadas. That's working quite well. But in other times I do use his below deck ability, because you know how annoying it can be, especially when you get started with deep space. Then you will definitely want something like that, and that's his warp core tuning, because Miles O'Brien increases the ship's base warp speed by 150% in this case, and that really helps. When I started getting into deep space, starting with level 38 with a mission dark space and so on, the flight times were really, really bad. In the meantime, I could do more research. When you raise with the levels, you get more warp speed research as well. And he's not that important to me anymore, but he's still a big help with regard to base warp speed. And if you're lucky to have him early on my small account on the other server, which I will use for some beginners videos soon, there I do have Miles O'Brien already, and he is really making a difference. If I send out 2 miners at the same time to the same system, I really can see the difference Miles O'Brien makes. As a rare officer, of course, he also has 2 possible traits for away teams. One is advisor, one is cautious. And if you don't need Miles for your armadas or for your warp speed, because you are fine with what you have, then it's possible to send him out to away teams as well. There are not so many advisors, but there are a few. There's Kerla, for example, and some others. But if you need Miles for that, that's another possibility. Of course, you also want to know where to get Miles, and there's only one source there at the moment, a regular one, and that is the Bajoran faction store, because he's one of the 3 officers that is in the officer exchanges of the Bajoran faction store. And if we once go to the officer exchange, then you can see that they are in some kinds of the armada exchanges here in the Bajoran faction store as well, but it's always these 3 officers. It's Miles O'Brien, Changeling, Kira, and Benjamin Sisko, and that's your main source for Miles O'Brien here. And of course sometimes he comes up in events, and then you have a chance too. That's how I got him on my level 12 account already, because of course, I don't have the Bajoran faction there that starts at level 35. But from time to time he shows up in events as well, or it did at least. But this is the main source. Once you have the Bajoran faction store and can use the officer exchange here, that's your main source for Miles O'Brien. Talking about officers and where to get them, I've almost finished new charts again. Someone from my on my German channel Discord asked for that. You know that I have a Discord channel for this STFC channel and for my German STFC channel, and there someone asked for it, so I'm making some overview charts where to get which officer. You will see what it exactly will look like. It's a bit complicated because there are tons of sources for officers, but I will manage to get this in an overview, and there you can see what it is. But I want to include 3 events that regularly bring the same officers so far. That's Crucible, that's Incursion, and that's the Mega Cube event. And those 3 I have to wait for the next ones to complete the charts. Everything else I got finished. But those 3 I want to complete as include as well, because in the last ones they always had the same officers there, and so that's why I want to put them on the charts as well. But once those events are there again, they should all come this month again, then I will complete the charts and put them on my Discord. If you're not there, have a look in the pinned comment. There's information about subscribing, commenting, how to support my channel, but also how to get the link for the Discord server. If you want to add something about Miles, of course, how you use him, please do. My viewers are always happy, especially the new players in this game, when they get more information or more views on officers and ships and so on from other viewers. And if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read the comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.